In this video, I want to take a look at the one thing that I believe is going to be responsible for the house price crash that I believe has already started and that we're going to continue to see over the next year or two. This, for me, cuts out all of the noise. So I've made lots of videos over the past few weeks covering all of the things that contribute towards the housing market crash that we are seeing, but it all boils down to this one thing. So officially, house prices have been falling now for 4 months if you go by the ONS figures, or the best part of 9 months if you go by nationwide. But I do think this is just the very start, and I think the crash is going to get a lot worse over the next couple of years. So this morning I put together this spreadsheet as I think it's going to really help illustrate the point I'm trying to make. And I'm going to make this available for you guys to download for free. I'm going to pin it in the top comment. There won't be any email address or anything to get this. Just click the link and you'll be able to download this document. And the one thing that is going to destroy the housing market, or should I say destroy house prices, the current house prices, and that is affordability. So over the past few weeks, I would say that June 2023, when we look back, is going to be the month that everyone looks at when reality started to hit home. So we had the mini budget at the end of 2022, and a lot of people saw that as a temporary blip, and we're expecting things to continue to improve over time. But I think what we've seen in June 2023, when we saw the surprising to some, inflation figures that sent kind of shockwaves through the market, we've now seen that the Bank of England are expecting higher rates overall, and also the mortgage sector, their costs have gone up massively over the past few weeks. So the interest rates being offered to people who are getting mortgages or remortgaging is a lot higher. This is where things are starting to cause fear and panic in the market. We've seen so many stories in legacy media, so in the mainstream media, but also online as well, on social media. So people are starting to get the message, this is not temporary, this was not a blip, this is going to be painful for a lot of people. And with nearly 7 million properties mortgaged in the UK, this is going to have a big impact on the property market. So I want to take a closer look at affordability, as I'm sure you guys have all seen the stories about mortgages over the past few weeks, and just show you some real world examples of how painful this could be for different people, depending on the value of their house and also depending on the size of their mortgage. So the first example I've got here, this is the average house price in the UK at the moment, according to the ONS. So that's about as official as you can get. So £285,000. Now, if you live in the southeast or the south or London, you're going to laugh at this. And if you live in the north, that might seem a bit expensive. But either way, this is the national average. The average first-time buyer deposit is 25%, which I actually found very surprising. I thought it would be more like 10%, but apparently it's 25%. So based on that, the average first-time buyer has £71,000 to put down to buy the house, and then they mortgage the remaining amount. So they've got a £213,000 mortgage. And the most common mortgage over the past couple of decades has been 25 years, although we are seeing more of a push now towards 30 and 35 years as these properties become more unaffordable. I'm going to leave it at 25 years just for the purpose of this example. So anyone that's remortgaged over the past probably 2 to 2.5 years, if you go back to when COVID started, would have been paying somewhere around about 2%. So let's see at 2% how much they would have been paying per month. Roughly £906 would have been their monthly payment, which for most people that are either on an individual decent salary or a combined average salary, that is just about affordable, which is kind of what has underpinned house prices. It isn't that it's been affordable, it's been just about affordable. The problem is now is that these interest rates are going up, and the Bank of England have clearly said that the peak rate they're now expecting to be higher than anything they've expected over the past few months. So we are already at 4.5% with the Bank of England, and we're seeing the average 2-year fixed at the moment above 6%. Now, the Bank of England, we're expecting to hike again later this week, and probably once or twice later on this year. So the Bank of England are far from being done with hikes, which is bad news for borrowers, unfortunately. So 3% has come and gone, but we'll do these anyway. So at 3%, that mortgage payment per month would be £1,014. We've then got 4%, which, I mean, if you're super lucky and you've maybe got a application already in, you may have secured a deal at 4%, and that'd be 1,128. But realistically, at the moment, as of June 2023, I think 5% is probably about the best you're going to get, and the average is 6%. I've got 7% in there as well, as there's every chance we could get to 7%. And also anyone on buy-to-let is paying 7% plus. So landlords are going to feel, or landlords with mortgages, especially interest-only mortgages, are going to feel some real pain. So these are some staggering jumps for monthly payments. So what I've done, I've also worked out the nominal price increases compared to that 2%. So just by going up 1% from 2 to 3%, it goes up £108 per month. So every 1% is £108. Now, if you're remortgaging from 2% to, let's say, 5% at the moment, which is quite reasonable, that's £344 extra per month. And this isn't even on an overly expensive house. And then if you go up to 7%, it's an extra £605 per month. So in percentage terms, these are the figures. You jump 12%, 25%, 38%, 52%, 67%. So let's say we get to 6%, which is more than reasonable, and that is what the current average 2-year deal is. Your monthly mortgage payment is going up 52%. So affordability, there is no way in my mind this cannot cause a substantial crash or correction, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be big in house prices. And what is even more shocking is when you look at the overall cost of that mortgage over the 25-year term, it is quite frightening how much money it's going to cost you, or cost whoever's borrowing the money, versus what it would have cost you over the past couple of years at the historically low interest rates that we had. So let's do this. Let's make these all visible for you guys. So borrowing £213,000 and after 25 years only repaying a total of £271,000 doesn't sound too bad. I mean, that's basically inflated away. But at 6%, that's £413,000. That's £142,000 more than being at 2%. And at 7% is £453,000. You are nearly doubling the cost of the property that you are looking at. It's absolutely, the numbers are insane when you see them like this. And this is why I wanted to put together this calculator, because most calculators only spit out one set of figures. So seeing them next to each other, how these interest rates make such a big difference. Now let's mix things up and increase this to say like a £500,000 house, as that is kind of an average for what you might be seeing somewhere in the southeast. Probably is actually cheap for maybe somewhere in London. But let's do this. A £500,000 house. This should hopefully all update automatically. The deposit straight away changes to £125,000 because it is 25% of the overall price. So the mortgage amount is £375,000. So over the past couple of years, this would have cost you £1,589. Now let's fill in the blanks with this one and see what we get. We go from £1,589 to £2,650, which in nominal terms is over £1,000 increase per month if we get to 7%. At 6%, it's £827. Even at 5%, it is £603. And in percentage terms, I would imagine the percentage terms are going to be exactly the same. So there we go. We've got a 52% increase, which is what we saw last time. And the total cost of the mortgage over the 25-year term ranges from £476,000 all the way up to just under £800,000. So anyone that has a sizable mortgage, whether that is a homeowner or a buy-to-let landlord, is going to be feeling massive pain from affordability. And remember, these figures are all on top of massive inflation that we've already had, and we've still got interest rate rises to come from the Bank of England. So we're not sure how high these are going to get. And if you combine this with the fact that we are starting to see a bit of a credit crunch with banks being very reluctant to lend out in the first place, it just spells pain and a lack of liquidity for the housing market, and house prices are only going to be going in one direction for the next year or two. So if you found this spreadsheet helpful, it is available in the pinned top comment. While you're down there, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more from me, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see all of the other reasons why house prices are crashing at the moment, I'm going to pop up a video now, and I'll see you guys over there.